How many discounts does USAA Auto Insurance offer? Too many to say here. Multi-vehicle discount, safe driver discount, new vehicle discount, storage discount, legacy.
How many discounts will you stack up? Visit USAA.com/auto discounts. Restrictions apply.
Brooks Running reminds us that we're all powered by something. Whether it's the me-time energy of a run after a day at the office, the electrifying energy of your first marathon, or the infectious energy of a group run with your friends. No matter what energy powers you, Brooks has gear specifically designed to unleash it. So lace up and let it out. Let's run there. Visit brooksrunning.com today to learn more.
And welcome back to the Boundary Corner podcast, along with my partners, Brian Siegler, Jonathan Talley, and Shelton Moss. I am Curtis Wilson. We are a part of the College Huddle Network, and this episode is brought to you by Dr. Jeremy Counts down at the Counts Family Pharmacy, your friendly neighborhood pharmacy, 301 South Main Street, Blacksburg, Virginia. And Brian, I'm going to let you say a little something here.
Yeah, I'm going to kick it off tonight. Just sending thoughts out there to our friends in Western North Carolina that are dealing with the disaster of Hurricane Helene. Some of you may know, some of you may not. That area of the state has a special meaning for me. It's a place where me and my family go just about every summer. Lake Lure, Chimney Rock area. There in Rutherford County, about 30 miles kind of east of Asheville there. Just wanted to send my thoughts out there. And for the folks out there listening, we've got some links down below on the crawl there. One is for the United Way of Rutherford County, and the other is for Feeding the Carolinas. Please, if you have any ability to do so, think of donating and helping those folks out. Right now, there's some of these towns very much a one road in, one road out. It's hard to get to them, the elevation and everything. So please try to get as many resources to them as you can. And definitely anything you can do at this point would be a big help.
Yep, very, very well said, Brian. The links are also pinned to our Twitter account as well for the United Way of Rutherford County. Obviously, we understand between Western Carolina, Eastern Tennessee, and the western part of the state of Virginia, along with South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida, all pretty hard because of this storm. It's closest to us. If y'all don't know him, good friend of ours, J.J. Singleton, down in the Asheville area.
Yeah, down there in Canton.
Down in Canton. JJ's okay. We've heard from him over the last few days. I know some folks that me and Brian grew up with live out there now. I work with a guy who is a hybrid guy. He lives out there. So it's affected a lot of people, obviously. And obviously, I think we all know it's a part of the area that's a lot of Hokie fans too. So it's not only just, it's Hokie fans, but just in general, the stuff that's going on, however you or whatever you may do, if you can donate, great. If you can, at least keep the good vibes, the prayers, however you may do so for them.
Yeah, it's just incredible seeing something that you spend a lot of time down there. You've been there so many times and seeing what that place looks like now and the destruction that happened, and the folks that are still reeling down there. It's been sad, man, and it's looking at the destruction, it's been just kind of surreal. I mean, I tell anybody that asks me, I've had a beer. I've went up and ordered a beer at a lot of places in this world, right? Best place I've ever ordered a beer and sat down and drank it Chimney Rock Brewing. It's right there on the river. You got a perfect view of the river up there to the state park. It's gorgeous, and that place does not exist anymore. And it's just it's really sad. And again, praying for all the folks down there, and hoping that they get some relief here for sure.
I do a good thing. I'm on mute. I've got a daughter that is not being the best right now. So if my camera goes off, everyone out there in Twitter land and watching us streaming, it's because she's done something and I've had to leave. So let's hope that doesn't happen. But
hey guys, look who was first in line here.
Yeah, he was waiting.
He was waiting.
New King was waiting.
New King needed a lot of help to beat a 2-2 team last week. I mean, he needed all his.
New King has been faithful on the show. We appreciate you.
Yes.
But I will say, y'all got a little help. Y'all got the win. We'll give it to you. We can't change it. But you got a little help. You got a little help. So,
well, let's just tell the truth. Let's tell the truth Tuesday. Y'all know the way we normally do it. I mixed it up this week like we did last week. But yes or no? Yes or no first. Did the ACC make a business decision when they overturned Quan's touchdown Friday night? Yes or no, Brian?
Of course they did. Oh,
okay.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Sheldon?
Oh, you're good. No.
Yes or no? Just yes or no to start with.
Yeah.
Just yes or no? I'd say no.
Oh, okay. We got a dissenter here. So we are going to start with Tally because I feel like Tally's ready to unload, and then I'm going to go to Sheldon and let Brian and me clean it up. Go ahead, Tally.
My thing is, you can't, as much football as you watch, if it's a catch, if you call it a catch, how do you overturn it? You know what I'm saying? There's no indisputable evidence that you overturn that call. I mean, we've seen it. I've seen it time and time. I ain't gonna speak for nobody else. That if something is called on the field, if that's the call on the field, you have to have the indisputable evidence. And I don't feel like they had indisputable evidence. I feel like Miami is the hot team. Miami's 5-0.
Cam Ward.
Cam Ward. No matter what he done wrong, he's a Heisman finalist. That's all we heard the whole game, and we heard about their team, which is okay. A lot of the stuff that they've done, they've earned that. So I'm not taking anything away from Miami. Very talented team. Cam Ward's a very talented player. So again, I feel like now, look at game day. They're in Cal to watch Miami and Cal. So yeah, they made a business decision. It's just my opinion.
Sheldon, you say no, which I think you are going to be in the minority here tonight, not only with us four, but probably everybody out on the comment section. Why do you say no?
Except for New King.
Well, it was with the context that we saw Al Riveron in the replay control room when they were looking over that replay. Riveron is a Miami native. I assume he's partial to Miami. I'm not saying it's conspiracy, but I think he probably leaned one particular way, and I'm sure he probably convinced some people in that room to lean that way as well. So I don't think it was like a, hey, we need Miami for the playoff type of thing. But I do think it's probably, if you have a bias, your eyes are going to make you look towards that bias. So I think they probably just looked at it that way of like, hey, we're Miami here, and we gotta we're gonna see it through the lens of the Canes. So that's kind of the way I look at it.
Brian.
This is the same crew that was on the Duke
15 lateral
touchdown, 4 penalty that weren't thrown situation. When I look at it, and I'll explain my mindset here of what I see, and folks can disagree with that if they want to. But what I saw, Felton go up, Felton come down, Felton fall. At that point, his momentum stopped. Then you see a Miami player punch the ball. It doesn't matter what happened after that. After he was down, none of that should have mattered. You can't make an additional move against a player once they're already on the ground. That's how I saw it. That's how I felt about it. I think it was bang, bang. So I can see where others would have a different opinion of that. But given that information, you stick with the call on the field.
Yeah.
And not only that, I mean, we keep talking about the catch. I'm sure we may talk about it a little later, but it was a lot of stuff that went on just in the last drive that I was like, hold on for a minute. Like horse collar. Like people and you know, the coaches have some stuff they have to work on. I'm not taking I'm not employed by the school.
We will talk about that too.
Brett probably knows the stuff that he needs to work on, but there's a horse collar, no call. Another one that threw me for a loop was when Quan is going forward. And again, I'm not on the field. Maybe the whistle blows. But it looks like he never goes down and goes out of bounds, gets threw out of bounds, and they run the clock. Yeah. You know, they continue running the clock, and everybody says, well, he should have done this. I'm like, how do you continue running the clock if he goes out of bounds? But it could have been a whistle that, of course, I'm not there and didn't see, but it was a lot of stuff that went on. I thought it was a pass interference when he threw the ball in the end zone to Aiden Green, but
it was a pass interference. He had his arm, and he shoved him out of bounds before he had a chance to go after the ball. There were 4 plays on that last drive, not counting that. So Quan was first. If Quan had been going backwards, yes, you have to run the clock, right? You have to run the clock.
Yeah, you stopped his forward run.
He went out sideways. To my knowledge, and as long as I watch football, that is out of bounds. That is this, not this. He tries to make a move and gets pulled back. We're going to talk about that later. That should have been out of bounds. So that's probably 15 seconds right there. The other was the horse collar. It was clear. You saw him do this. Well, he didn't make the tackle. It doesn't matter if they make the tackle. You pull the horse collar, whether the tackle is made or not, that is a 15-yard penalty. That would have stopped the clock. That would have got us, I think, to the 40 of them because it was on this side of midfield. The other part about that, Prize out there screaming, that's a horse collar. You can, if you look, he's doing this. He's running back to the sideline, and he has to go to the other ref and say, I called a timeout. 8 or 9 seconds additional off the clock right there. So we've already got 23, 24 seconds additional that they took away from us. Aiden Green, 100%, that was pass interference. And I don't care if it's a 1-yard line spot or if it's 15 additional yards. You start doing the math, the last play should have probably been at about the 8-yard line, not the 40 or the 31, whatever it was. I'll have to go back and look. It shouldn't have been a deep pass. It would have been something even harder to defend for them. And the ACC did make a business decision.
Oh, yeah.
They did. There's no question, because if it was clear and in indisputable evidence, it wouldn't have taken 5 minutes. It would not have taken 5 minutes to say that. They kept saying, like, oh, this is going to go. And it's like, you want to fix the replay rules? 45 seconds. Find something wrong with it. What if we can't find nothing wrong with it? It stands. It stands. Because if it's that indisputable, it's not. This man trying to say we're wrong. I got 2 guys who played collegiate football here, King.
You ain't even got to. Yeah, it don't matter about who's wrong or right. Like, you can look at football and understand. I don't care if he acted like he won $1 million. Like, that doesn't constitute a call. When he went up to get the ball, either he has it or he doesn't. You know, if he comes down with it, he does. If he doesn't, the refs make the call. They made a call that said it was a touchdown. So the only people in the country that I've heard, this is what I've heard from Miami fans. New King, maybe you can help me. You sound like them anyway. Everybody hates Miami. The refs hate Miami. And the only reason that Miami's winning is just because they're so good. And it wasn't like they helped us keep the game close. That's a lie. Like, that's not what happened in that game. Like, the refs, every year Miami get the benefit of the doubt that they're back. I don't think that no media or no refs hate Miami. So I'm tired of Miami's fans trying to say that, because if Miami have any kind of production coming back or any kind of production where they look like they're good, they're getting ranked. They're getting ranked early in the season. So that's nothing wrong with that. You have a program that when it's good for football. So Miami fans have in their heads that everybody's against them. Everybody hates the youth. Man, that's a crock of shit. So that's just my opinion.
You know, when we talk about the way the officiating was going, it wasn't just on that last drive. All that was a big part of it. Let's talk about the PJ touchdown, the holding call that was just a good pancake.
Yeah, New King said they helped y'all out a lot. Yeah, he said they helped y'all out a lot. They took away a touchdown on a BS holding call.
I know the play.
Yeah, we
seen
it too.
That was a hold.
Yeah,
he had him on the outside of the shoulder pads. New King. That was a hold. That was not.
But the thing is, it's
hold,
like it happened. It's not like they gave us plays and then they just helped us get to where we were. It was the same thing. We had the same. If it was a hold or wasn't a hold, and they called a touchdown, took a touchdown off the board, they did the same thing to us. So it came down to, again, with the question that you asked, they made a business decision. Sheldon said the Miami dude is in there with his orange shirt on, making the call. When it's only 2 or 3 people in there, they keep going to this damn war room or whatever they call it. And why? How do you even have a tie to that game to be able to make those calls? I don't understand. So,
well, he is the official head of officiating for the ACC. That's how
he need to get the fuck on.
There you go.
Yeah, he need to get on in a game like that.
I mean, this is a recusal situation, right? Like if you're a judge with with some sort of ties to a situation, you got to recuse yourself. I feel like that should be something that we would talk about there as well. But I mean, I know we're going to talk about it, but it didn't need to necessarily come down to a Hail Mary.
Right.
And some of that was self-inflicted and some of that was poor officiating. And I think both of those things kind of led to where we ended up at the end of that game.
Absolutely. All right. So we got to do some on just that part of it. We got to close the book. Okay. Because every statement's been made. 98% of the country agrees with us. It should have been held. Miami should have a loss. We should have a win. Can't do anything about it. Can't go back, but it is what it is. But what I want to ask y'all next, and then yes or no, and then I'll let y'all explain. Friday night, was that the team you expected from the jump this year? Shelton, yes or no?
Yeah, I thought they played their hearts out.
Tally?
Yeah, definitely.
Brian?
Yeah, that was the team I expected from Jump Street. It looked like the team I expected. Like win or lose in that game, from the start to finish, it looked like the team I expected for us to have most of the year.
You're on mute again, Curtis.
That's going to be a recurring theme tonight is I'm going to have to do that. All right, so Brian, you kind of went into it a little bit there. What did you feel different on Friday night? And I'm going to go back around, Sheldon, get your data points ready. I know you've got stuff up, but what did you just see different? What was the feel? Why did this team look like the team we expected them to be?
Complementary football. I mean, I think it's that simple. Complementary football. When the defense made a play, we went out there and made a play on offense most of the time. When the offense made a play, the defense would turn it around and do something pretty well and get the ball back to the offense. I thought it was a very consistent performance really on both sides of the ball with only a couple caveats to that. I think, for the most part, special teams was okay. Outside of 2 number 17s on the field and a very questionable coaching call.
Hey, if you speeding and the police don't catch you, was you speeding?
It ain't illegal.
That's what I'm saying. Happen all the time. They didn't catch it. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But
Brian.
yeah, I think performance-wise, I think the special teams was improved this week. I think there were still a couple decisions from the staff that could fall under question on that side of things.
All right. What about you, Tyler? What did they do different? I know you had a game. You came in late, but I know you watch them.
Yeah, man. They had my son dressed out with varsity this past weekend or this week. So Friday, we were out in the rain at a game. They at least won. He got in his first varsity snaps. He was scared. He didn't have to do nothing but hand the ball off, but you got like the third team in there and they fumbled a snap and the other team picked it up and started running back, and he was trying to make a tackle but also not get ran over. So, yeah, welcome to big boy football for him. But I watched it, man, probably about I watched some highlights kind of that night and watched some videos people were posting, but then I watched the entire game at like 2:00 in the morning, Sunday morning. when it finally got a whole game uploaded, I went back and watched the entire thing, which was I shouldn't have. I sacrificed some much needed sleep, but Kyron looked more like Kyron. Like he accepted what the stage was, and to see him step up in the pocket and make that throw, where he throws off one leg and puts the ball, on the rope. Like it was good to see him do that. But also, man, it was just not to get too technical. Like when we got punched, they punched back. Like there was a lot of games earlier, even games we won, I seen somebody punch and it was just kind of like, oh, we kind of walked to the sideline, or we kind of, did some different things. And I'm like, come on, man. Like I like to see a team like get in their bag. Somebody's taunt back. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like you're either gonna win or you're gonna lose. I don't like that. We're gonna be classy and blah. No, forget that. Like if people out there talking, you gotta talk back. So I've seen us doing that, and again, Miami has a good team and Miami wasn't doing anything like overly bad, but when you're playing football, it's a game where you get to hit each other every play. So they was hitting and we hit back. So I was good. I was glad to see that because in some of the other games, I didn't see that. I seen people leaning on us for quarters before we decided to punch back. This game, I feel like from the start, it was like, nah, we are trying to win. We here to play football. So that was good to see.
Sheldon, what about you, man? What popped out? I know you watched the game Friday night. I'm sure you reluctantly looked at some analytics. What was different to you Friday night?
Well, I think there was a little bit more variety in the run game. They averaged about 7 yards per rush as a team, which was great, especially against that D line. We saw more of those toss plays to Bayshall Tootin where Jones kind of pitch outside or fake the pitch and then go inside between the guards. I feel like that was kind of our bread and butter last year. For some reason, we didn't really see it a ton the first 4 games. I don't know if Bone was trying to save a little bit more for conference play, but it was good to see that play kind of get back in the mix. Rolling Jones out a little bit more, getting him to run as a quarterback, which obviously is his best strength. Tootin broke 9 tackles. He's up to 5th in the country and most missed tackles forced with 33. So he's, keeps chugging along there. And then I also thought the perimeter blocking was improved. Obviously this is an offense that wants to get the ball out quickly, short, quick throws to the sides in the flats, and let your playmakers make plays in space. In order to do that, you got to have good perimeter blocking. I thought, Quan Felton did a good job there. He had a couple key blocks that spurred a big catch by Jay Lane. And then we saw some trickeration on that reverse to Lane that went for, 20-some yards for a touchdown. So I just thought there was a little bit more variety. Bob Schick coming in for Laith Gam at left guard. He's been an improvement there. And then, in terms of the defensive special teams, obviously, those 2 units did a really good job helping the offense. Average starting field position for Tech in this game was a 49-yard line. You might play this game 10 times over and not see that once because they got 3 turnovers and all of them were in plus territory for VT. So, it's kind of the traditional, 3 complementary approach to football: offense, defense, special teams, kind of helping out each other. I thought they did a really good job there. And it's probably one of the more complete performances considering the quality of the opponent.
Yeah, quality opponent and everything. And it was kind of – y'all all kind of hit it right. It was complimentary ball, and then they stood up and just started punching. Where there had been times this year, especially in the first half, we got beat down, right?
We looked shell-shocked when
we did. Something funky would happen, and we would just look, oh, no, this isn't good. And I know we came right out the gate, forced the fumble, scored the touchdown, but they answered. We didn't quibble up. Up after that. And hopefully we are over that block because that was the biggest thing I saw Friday night, and I think it's going to go allude to what Tally said. They came over a roadblock. They finally said, this is how we can play. We can punch back. We can attack. We can keep going. And then to both y'all's points, we did look different. We look different on offense, especially when I look over here and I see how many guys got multiple receptions. Gosnell, Jay Lane, other Gosnell, Aiden Green. They flipped the ball out to Tootin to keep people honest in the flat a few times. He didn't get many yards, but you know what that does? To Sheldon's point, some of those little short, quick passes, if you send Tootin to one side, a safety's going, a linebacker's going, thus you go opposite field, it's going to open up. So in reality, why was this the team we expected? Because we knew we had these players. We knew we could get into that mentality and go play with anybody in the country. So that's where we all stand on that. Now, anybody, Shelton, I'm going to start with Sheldon on this one.
Hey,
y'all,
let me
y'all
put a – I want to put –
you'll put a bow on it?
Yeah. I want you to put something up. I want you to put what New King said.
Oh, this
he said well, they did everything bad.
Did they?
Yeah. Yeah, put that up. No, I just want you to put that up. I want to say something to that.
Okay.
So he said we did everything bad. That was the worst game we played all season. Definitely a wake-up call. How is it the worst game you play all season just because you had a team that punched back? Let's see here. Okay, Miami's schedule before they played us. Florida. Garbage, horrible. We done seen them. Pitiful. Florida A&M, Ball State, South Florida. Like, of course it's the worst game you play because you had a team that had a pulse. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying like we are so great, but like Miami, y'all gonna have a little bit of a road ahead of you. You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna get in the ACC play, and you are the number 7 or 8 team in the country. You're gonna have people that's gonna have a target on you. They're gonna try to punch back. Like, don't get in here and act like y'all are the greatest team in the country. Like y'all ain't on Bama's level and even Georgia's level yet. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got a ways to go. But you had players that made plays. You know, your quarterback threw for almost 400 yards. You had a tight end hustling from one end of the field to the other to make a tackle to stop a touchdown. Like, come on, man. Don't come in. If we're going to do anything, we just at least going to tell the truth. We're going to tell the truth on a Wednesday. Don't fill y'all's heads with we did everything wrong and we still overcame. No, you got help by the refs and you won the game. Now you got to go beat Cal. Let's see what y'all going to do when you go out there. I just want to go ahead. New King, you still my guy, though. We're going to go to the next thing, Curtis. What you got?
Well, I was pitching to Sheldon here. Up to this point, who's a player you've been down on or saying, why isn't this guy playing like I know he can play? But Friday night, it reversed the script for you.
I might need a second to chew on that.
All right.
I could go definitely.
All right, pitch it over to Brian then.
Yeah, let's go, Brian.
I mean, low-hanging fruit is Kyron, but I'm going to actually say Daquan Felton. I saw some life from him the whole game. He was engaged in blocking. He looked like he was a little bit more focused than he had been the last couple weeks. I was really impressed with how he played overall. Got him involved in the game plan a little bit, so I like that. And then obviously, we know what happened with the Hail Mary at the end there. So I was excited to see him get back a little bit in the game plan. So I think he kind of surprised me a little bit.
How about you, Tally? You got to watch that late, so you saw all the data. You kind of knew what was going to happen. Who stood out to you?
Did I drop it? It's not that anybody kind of surprised me on stepping up. It was more of the coaches letting people play. You know what I'm saying? Like,
gotcha. Yeah.
To see Woodson get in the game, to see Caleb Spencer get more burn, to see PJ Prelude get in. You know what I'm saying? So I can't say I was expecting more out of them because they haven't been put in a position to play. So it looks like we got talent on the sidelines, man. I'm just waiting for the coaches to put them in and let them do their thing. Malachi, I like you, man. You got to go third string, brother. I mean, you can't be that big and not get no yards. We need 2 yards a carry, 3 yards a carry, something. Give me something. Prelude looked like he is a change of pace guy.
Yeah, I agree with you on the change of pace. I think that's big because when you get somebody that can break tackles the way Tuden can and can kind of do a little bit of everything, you get somebody that's one cut and go like Prelude. That creates some problems for the defense because he gets upfield so quick.
All right. Sheldon, back to you.
I'll go Wilfred Pernay. I think he's been surprisingly solid. Graded out pretty decently against Miami, and also had 4 QB pressures, which was a big stat. So I think Tech did a okay job getting to Cam Ward. So I'll go Pernay, kind of an under the radar guy. Not somebody I had a ton of expectations for, but I was surprisingly impressed with him.
All right. I'm going to go with one, and it might be a little obvious because of what he did down at the goal line. Most Phillips III. I think it's the maturation with safeties that his tackles were cleaner this week. His coverages were cleaner. Did he miss a few fits? Yeah, but they weren't as bad as they were 3 games ago. And remember, he's a sophomore. That kid's a sophomore, and he's out there. In that pick, he absolutely baited potential Heisman winner Cam Ward into it because he showed off like he was going to play the flat. And as soon as he saw Cam hit that third back foot, you saw him undercut that wheel, and he was gone. And it's the maturation of that kid. It's like he's had some games where it's like you see him with tackles, and it's like, oh, my God, I know why we got to start him. I know he's got talent. I know he likes to lay lumber. But when you see a game of that caliber, the guys he were tackling – if you miss those tackles, they're gone. He wasn't missing them. And Shelton, I stole something from PFS, 81 tackle grade for him. That means he didn't miss much. That means he was solid. So love hearing that. All righty. Okay. We usually do the bad segment, but we got to bring it up. And I know, Brian, you said they played a little bit better. Can special teams just stop making little errors in every single way? Please.
I'll take the 58-yard field goals though.
That's
John Love though.
Well, hey, they developed him, so gotta give him credit there. I mean, I know we love to hate on Stu Holt, but you gotta give credit where it's due.
Love's automatic too, man. Like what is he like? He's been like 19 for 20 or something like that.
Yeah,
the one that
89%. 89% since the starter last year. One of the best kickers in the country statistically, and he has not missed an extra point.
Yeah, he's tough. It's just good to have. Yeah, it's good to have that in your pocket. We got the confidence to roll him out there and be like, "Hey, man, we need you to go hit this." And most of the time, that's what he's gonna do. You know what I'm saying?
My son was watching the game. He had cotillion Friday night. He got back late, so he chilled and watched the game with me. And when he kicked that 58-yarder, he was like, Dad, that's like a Justin Tucker kick. Because it was like a Justin Tucker kick. That thing was halfway up the pole. But the other piece why I keep going back to saying it's the small things, the end of the first half, pooching that. I know the kid back there, they mentioned it like 19 times. He's like all-world speed. How low usually puts it through the end zone. And I don't know if that's Pry or if that's Stu. It's like put it through the end zone. Give them no shot. It's little things.
Yeah,
thing.
It started with the timeout before the field goal.
Yeah.
So if you run some more clock before the field goal,
way down,
then you don't have to pooch it. You don't even think about pooching it, right? Because it's down far enough where you're not concerned as long as you boot it deep. It is what it is. Yep. I think they saw 25 seconds. I think they saw if we can run a little bit more clock on this kickoff, it might help us get out of the half. I think they overthought it. And next thing you know, you got another 3 on the board. And as we see that, those threes add up. And we're going to talk about another one here in just a second.
Yeah, we are. Because I like the one thing about Coach Pry, when we've interviewed him or you see him at the podium, he's usually self-critical. If he makes errors in the game, he calls himself out. And he said it. After the game, he said, I've got to be better at game management. And he had more than a couple on Friday night of game management issues. What can he do? Like, what's the solution there? I mean, we got helmet. I love what somebody said. I can't remember if it was on Twitter or in a chat or something. We've got helmet communications, and we still got 5 guys giving signals. Like, wait a second. This is 2024. Somebody said, take one of those guys, just put them next to Pry and be like, what are you supposed to do? No timeouts, and tell him when to call timeouts. But what's the solution? What do y'all have? Y'all both played. Sheldon, you got data.
Stop talking about it. Stop talking about need to be better at this. We need to do this better. You know how to do it. You got to do it. Stop. I mean, to me, it don't seem like it's a huge thing to fix. You know what I'm saying? Like the mistakes keep being the same mistakes. And at some point you gotta fix the mistake. You know what I'm saying? Like, Sheldon, I know you ain't married yet, but us 3 are married. Your wife is not going to allow you to make the same mistake 3 or 4 days in a row. Oh, baby, I forgot to take trash out. Oh, baby, I forgot to wash them dishes. Oh, baby, I forgot to clean the car. Oh, baby, I'm going to do it. But you going to be done. You're going to be out of there. Sooner or later, you can't keep making the same mistake. And then it don't matter if you make it sound good. Hey, baby, I forgot to take that trash out, but I bought you some McDonald's home. Here you go. I got you this fish fillet, baby. Here you go. It don't help. The trash still didn't get taken out. Like, come on, man. You got to fix the mistakes and quit talking about fixing the mistakes. Stu, hey, man, you got to quit making mistakes on special teams. If I'm proud, somebody getting thrown under the bus. Hey, man, you got to go. That's what I'm saying. I mean, if it's me or you, it's got to be you. I got to put somebody on the chopping block because sooner or later, every game they keep showing it. Brett Pry is blank and blank. He's won this many games. He's lost this many games. If this number keeps going up and this number keeps staying the same, you ain't gonna have a job. You got to do something. It's wins and losses. Like kissing babies is cool and shaking our hands and doing cool videos is cool, but it comes down to wins and losses. Like you got to get some of those wins. You got to steal some of those games, and you cannot continue to talk about we should have won that. You know what I'm saying? You have to be on the other side of some of those wins and go, we did win that. That's a big game. That Miami game was a huge game. Brett Price still doesn't have a signature win. He's been here 3 years. When does he get it? That's all I'm saying.
You had the opportunity. It was right there.
It was right there.
Yeah, I hate to be pessimistic, but I don't see what the solution is. Like, I think I tweeted this on Friday, but like, there's you have to have like this internal clock in your head when it comes to game management, kind of like the quarterback who, can process things really quickly. It's a really hard skill to teach. I think Price, he's been a long time assistant. I just don't think he has that internal clock when it comes to time management. And I know some people said like, hey, we should hire an assistant to kind of baby him. Like, I don't know if there's any other school in the country that does that, like to have like a special assistant for clock management on the field. I feel like that would just add to the chaos that's going on, because again, you got to think about from his perspective. He's thinking about what's our play call. He's got to think about like so many different aspects of the game. It's hard to balance when you're actually on the sideline doing it in real time. Obviously we criticize him as fans, but we're kind of looking at it just from like the clock management perspective. We're not thinking about all the things he's thinking about. So I don't know. It's a skill you either have or you don't. And we're 29 games in. I just don't know if we're going to get it.
Yeah, and I think the problem comes more in those like crunch time situations, right? So, when you look at something, when we talk about, Felton getting out of bounds, you got to juggle the fact that you got to get the play in, you got to get back on the line of scrimmage, but you got to jaw at the ref a little bit and get in his ear. And you got to be able to do all of that at one time without wasting 8 or 9 seconds, which it ultimately ended up happening.
Yeah.
That's one play. There's a handful of plays that happened on that last drive that I think the amount of action going on contributed to the poor clock management, not just the fact that he wasn't aware of the situation we were in. So it's not just an awareness problem. I think it was managing multiple crises at one time, right? Yep. So I think that's the bigger issue, and I think that's just going to be something that takes some time to adjust to for someone that hasn't had to have that role, before coming to Virginia Tech. And to Sheldon's point, it is just going to take time. It's not necessarily something that you can flip a switch on, but that's frustrating for a fan base, especially when decisions like that matter in those one score situations, and we have not been very good in those one score situations under Pry. So
yep. In a lot of those one score situations, it's been issues of the management of the clock, of knowing, okay, now it's time to call a timeout. Like, oh, no, into the first half. No, don't call a timeout. They're not using their timeout. Just wait.
Yeah,
they want to use their timeout. That's fine, Danny. Let it run all the way down.
Down as far as you can.
I'm petitioning for this. Virginia Tech should hire Shelton to be the clock manager on the sidelines. That's all your job will be, Shelton. Just manage the clock, know exactly when to call it. He's available. He needs a job. He's an alumni. He understands clock management. He will tell you, Coach Pry, when to call the timeout, when not to. He will tell you they're going to keep him inbounds. You need to call a timeout right now. So
yeah, no, I could do it, and it's funny because I played Madden growing up, and I feel like my generation knows clock management pretty well. The older generation, they don't have that thing inside the like if you play Madden every single day for like 5 years, you have it in your brain. So, and by the way, for the last commenter, Peacefully Violent, who asked about the clock not stopping when Felton went out of bounds on that last drive, I know the play you're talking about. It's because Felton was going backwards or sideways. If you go backwards or sideways,
is it
to
sideways
get out of
too?
bounds.
I always thought sideways meant the clock stopped. Backwards, I always knew it was a running clock. I never thought sideways because
the refs might give you some leeway there, but generally speaking, if you try to angle backwards out of bounds, the clock's not going to stop.
Okay,
and I think that's what happened there. So
you would have known that and told Coach Pratt, call them out here. We got 2 here. We got to burn one. See?
Or either call a timeout now or get a damn play in fast instead of wasting 10 seconds.
Like run it quick.
I think another thing we need to start working on, and this is an offensive coordinator situation, is getting multiple plays into the huddle in those 2-minute situations. You need to have a play ready to go. You need to be able to get on the line, understand down and distance, understand where you are in the moment, and have plays that you can get in there accordingly without having to scramble. After a call like that, where you're like, all right, are we getting the clock favorable here? Or are we not? So
100%. All right, Brian, I'm gonna pitch it back to you on this because I feel like you might have a very strong feel one way or the other. Would you have pulled the trigger on the fake up 10?
I would have taken the 3. I don't hate the call itself. I hate the execution by a certain tackle that shall remain nameless. Yeah, so I mean that's kind of where I land on it. I think that I don't hate the call. I would have taken a 3 though, because I feel like in games like that where it's tight, where you have an offense that can score the ball on you, when you get a big play like that, I know you hate not coming away with 6, but 3 is better than not coming away with anything. And again, you got to execute. I mean, it's a first down if you execute.
Tally, taking the points, going for it.
Yeah, I probably would have took the points in that situation. Just me myself, like I just feel like, you need all the points you can get, and if they're there, take them. But if I'm in that game and I'm looking how we're playing, I mean, I'm not going to go with a little brother call. I'm not going with a fake field goal. I'm going to put my offense on the line, and I'm going to say we're going to go our best play, and we're going to either get this or we're not. I'm not trying to get a ball to Harrison St. Germain to get me 3 yards when I got Tootin that they cannot stop, and I got Kyron that can get us. Like, I just feel like that wasn't the call. If I'm going to do, that's a little brother call. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
Like that's it. Like if I'm playing my son in basketball, which he's more athletic than I am now, but when he's small, he's got to do stuff to steal points. Like now he's just going to go shoot, or he's going to go to the goal because he's quicker than me and make a layup. Like you don't have to, you got to get out of that mindset. Like when you're playing like we're playing that day, I'm saying, all right, y'all, what you think? We're going to go for it. So I'm not mad at him for going for it. I'm mad at the call if you're going to go for it.
What about you, Sheldon?
I would have preferred to just go for it straight up from scrimmage. I like the way the offense was moving the ball, and I trust, try to have your skill guys make a play in space. Based on what Price said in the postgame, it seems like they got a certain look from Miami that gave them the idea to go for it. I guess they had to check into it. So they probably saw something that they liked. Obviously, it didn't work out. But again, we talk about compounding mistakes. Again, if you manage to enter the first half correctly, you're +3. So that means you're leading by 13 in that situation rather than 10. If you're up 13, hey, kick a field goal, go up by 16. That's 2 touchdowns plus 2-point conversions. Maybe you're thinking that's a little bit more, a little bit more manageable there. Instead, you're up by 10, so there's more, ambiguity in terms of how you play it because you want to go up by 17, go up by 3 scores. So again, mistakes compound mistakes.
All right,
agreed.
I like what y'all are saying. Go, if you can go for it, put your guys on the field, that's fine. Take the point. Because at that point in time, 10-point game, that was the pick play, right? That was the Caleb Spencer pick that we got deep.
Yep.
You have all the momentum. All that fake does, if you don't pull it off or if you don't get it on fourth down, they take the momentum back. You go down there and they stop you and you kick the field goal. They didn't take much momentum back because now they look up and say, well, we got to drive the field not once, but we got to drive the field twice. We can't screw up either one of our extra point kicks because if we do, it's a tie game. If we make a mistake going down, they can sit on this ball and start eating clock, which is our enemy. That's what my thing was. I'm like, it was the momentum shift because as soon as we missed it, as soon as somebody got blocked in the Harrison St. Germain, not going to mention the name, but the number, y'all know what it is, they had all the momentum. They did. They had all the momentum. It's like, oh, they were trying to put us away. We're gonna go get them. It's like the horror movie. I'm gonna try to kill them the best I can instead of getting out of there. All right, so I'm gonna end it with this. Or almost end it with this. Do y'all think Miami is a legit team? Could they be to the second round of the playoffs?
Yes.
Brian?
I think so.
I think depending on the matchup, yes.
All right. I'm with y'all on that. I think they are. I think they have enough weapons. Now, I do think they showed some flaws. I think that left side of that offensive line, if you go put an elite guy who's going to the NFL, that kid got worked. He got worked by APR all night. They have their flaws, but they are explosive. And when you got to – look at this. Look at this. Look at this. This is a lot of people hating right now. No, they ain't legit. Chris, they ain't legit?
They are legit.
They are legit.
I think Cam Ward makes them legit. So the thing that impressed me watching Cam Ward, obviously the physical tools are there, but his poise – in the face of rush, in the face like that was the thing that impressed me the most about his game is that he never flinched.
Chris, I'm going to say something right here. Chris, they averaged 5 yards a carry on us running the ball. They can run the ball. They struggled stopping the run. But we also have two of the most dynamic players in the country back there.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give us – that's what I was going to say. You got to give us credit too. It's not like they just were a horrible team. It's just and again, like I said, the New King, it's not like they played a bad game. Miami scored 38 points. They didn't play the bad game. They just, they played a team that punched back. So I'm interested to see what they do this week for Miami.
All right. Anything else y'all want to bring up? Because we have just about got to the end here.
Did you know Miami missed 19 tackles in that game?
Half of them were to Tuden, weren't they?
Yeah, 9 were to Tuden. So obviously, that kind of plays into it. But still, I mean, it's certainly not their finest performance. I think if you're a Miami fan, you're kind of looking at that like, man, we made some mistakes, but still got out of it, with a win against a decent team.
Yeah.
So kind of, a different ways to look at it, obviously.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not trying to say that Miami played their best game. I don't think we got their best game, but I think we got a good game from them.
Yeah, when you got receivers catching the ball on their back,
yeah,
they had a little something on their side. That's all I'm saying. Like they got some playmakers. They did what they had to do. So I got to give them their props on that. But I mean, when you talk about missed tackles, sometimes it's the player. Like I seen Tootin bouncing off people, making stuff happen. I seen Kyron bouncing off people, making stuff happen. And Gosnell, he's slippery. Like, come on, man. We got players too. Our coaches got to understand that, as well as our fans and the players themselves. Like, man, y'all dudes too. We got to go into games the same way. We shouldn't have to wait till game 5 till we see this guy. We shouldn't have to wait, till whatever to see this. Like, man, just if we start doing this, we ain't even having these conversations. You know what I'm saying? Like, we sitting at 5-0 or 4-1. So
100%. All righty. So let's flip it. Just a couple things. If y'all have not heard, I know we didn't talk about it last week, but there were more pressing things last week. May 7th, 2025, Metallica will play Lane Stadium. Probably, I think they're saying 80,000 plus there. Brian has already purchased his tickets. He is going. He was one of the first ones, but pretty cool. Regardless whether you're a fan of Metallica or not, it's pretty damn cool. They got that band. They've been around 40 years to come to Blacksburg.
That's what I say about that. Ain't got it. That's what I say about that.
Ain't
Man,
got
we finna wheel these dudes out here in wheelchairs to play.
No,
like, why they
that
wait?
way
What we waiting? What they wait till 2025 to do this for? Sheldon, are you going to see Metallica play?
Nope, it's not my cup of tea.
Them kids ain't going to see them. That's gonna be people older than me going, man, get some. I'm gonna calm down. What we got next, Curtis? We'll go back to that later on.
What we
y'all
got
know,
next?
Y'all know how I feel about them.
Well, listen, you hated the song until you went to spring game a few years ago, and we completely turned you around on
No,
the
I didn't. I didn't hate the song. That's not it. I didn't hate the song. I hated people's reaction to the song when all I heard on Twitter was, this is back when we had Twitter. This wasn't X. All I heard was, this is what makes our interest the best. This is what I'm like, no, y'all make the interest the best. The fans do. Like, the fans show up and they're going to support. Like, it don't matter what song playing. Now, because of that song and people have embraced it and they show up and do the same thing every week, yeah, that's cool. But we shouldn't be just the entrance. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was my take on it. I never hated the song. You know, I'm just looking at it like, I feel like we fantasize Metallica too much. Like, we give them too much credit. I'm glad they show up. I hope they start wearing Virginia Tech stuff. Like, when I see them go on shows and they start wearing Virginia Tech hats.
Shaq here, spinning fast-acting pain relief with Icy Hot. Ice works fast, heat makes it last. Icy Hot, you're so back.
This episode is brought to you by LinkedIn. Healthcare professionals can lead their careers with LinkedIn. Discover jobs by specialty, preferred shifts, and even desired salary. From mental health therapists to radiology technicians, it's now faster and easier for healthcare professionals to find the right fit. Learn more at linkedin.com/healthcare. Side effects may include faster job placement, improved work-life balance, and increased career satisfaction.
And talking about their song being played at Lane Stadium, maybe I feel a little bit better about them. I feel like we get them more publicity than they give us. That's just my opinion.
All righty. And with that, we are in the middle here. So before we flip over to Know the Enemy, as y'all know, we are brought to you by Counts Family Pharmacy, your friendly neighborhood pharmacy. Check out Jeremy and the staff over at 301 South Main Street in Blacksburg. Well, we got to close it and we got to move on because the boys got to get on a plane tomorrow. I think they're getting on the plane about lunchtime tomorrow and flying out west down to Stanford, down on the farm. And we do need to get to know the enemy of the 2-2 Stanford Cardinal coming off basically getting thumped by Clemson down in Death Valley last week. So let's talk about them. And I want to talk about their offense. One of the more unusual or unique things you see in college football, or you don't see in college football. Their offensive coordinator is Troy Taylor. He is also their head coach. Brian, could you do that even at the Pop Warner level, first of all? And then give us a little bit about Troy Taylor's offense.
Could I personally do that, or
could you personally do that at the Pop Warner level?
I could personally do it at the Pop Warner level, but I wouldn't want to go much past that. With my abilities. Now, you know, I had a head coach at Hampton Sydney that was also the offensive coordinator, so I know that it can be done and done at a high level. You know, 2003 in terms of scoring offense, we were number one in all of college football across all divisions, so it can be done. That being said, you know, it's not something that you see at the Power 4 level very often, let alone, you know, if you look at just Division I in general. So this is going to be a quarterback power option attack. It's a run heavy system. It runs through the quarterback in that option attack. They're going to use their tight ends both as blockers and as receiving threats. You got two out there, Benjamin Urosic and Sam Roush. Those are the tight ends that are in this offense. It's an interesting offense because it's a run heavy team, but I don't think that they are necessarily ready up front to be super successful with that. But when they do get into a rhythm, they can move the ball somewhat effectively. And their quarterback, who we may or may not see, is pretty effective, both with his legs and throwing the football.
Yeah, let's talk about him straight up here. Let's talk about Ashton Daniels, a kind of a low prospect, actually from the East Coast, played at Buford High School down in Georgia. Buford, if I can remember, that is where Dylan Whitkey went to, right? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong out there. Came out as a 3-star back in 2022, 6'3", 200 pounds. And so far this season, like you said, Brian, lots of run. He is leading the team in rushing, 600 yards passing, 5 touchdowns, 6 picks, 50 rushes, 250 yards per. So obviously averaging a buck over 60 a game. So definitely a threat in that. What are you seeing from him? But I know he got banged up at the Clemson game, and who potentially could be taking his place?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of said it there. I mean, this guy is really good in the running game, really good with his reads in that option, has the athletic ability to make the big play, but is very consistent with getting good yardage in that running game. When it comes to the pocket and throwing the ball, he can make those throws on the run. He has pretty good poise, but he does take some risk with the football, and that's evidence with when you look at that touchdown interception ratio there. But when we look at who might end up starting in his place if he's not able to go, you're looking at Justin Lamson. I'd say just from a pure rushing standpoint, probably a little bit better. Doesn't have the reads or the vision that Daniels does, but I think in terms of pure athleticism, right up there as well. But definitely does not possess the arm talent. But we haven't necessarily seen him unleash a whole lot yet.
So I'd have to go look up the stuff on Lamson. I had a chance to look at a couple receivers. I know Tally, I know you got one, but I want to talk about the receiver, Ismail Sis, because I feel like when I look at his body type, bigger guy, came out of Colorado, 5-star, basically playing here as a redshirt freshman, second on the team, got a little bit of run last year. Did anything pop on tape for him as you were looking, Brian?
Yeah, he's their prominent down the field threat. They like to run him, deep routes, wheel routes. They like to get him the ball down the field. He let him use his body to go up and make those plays. I think he's going to be a handful. I think he's a guy that you got to make sure doesn't get behind you. They don't throw the ball a ton, but they are pretty effective with hitting the deep balls when they do go for them.
All right. Tally, were you able to get that info on the second wide receiver?
Yeah, I got a little bit on him, so I ain't going to mess up his name, but is it Elick Ayo-Maynor? Does that sound right?
Ayomano, I think.
There we go. Whoever that is, the guy that caught all the passes against Colorado last year. Yep. We just don't need him to do that. I mean, this year he's got 21 receptions, 284 yards, 2 touchdowns, averaging about 13 yards per catch. I mean, he's a handful. He's 6'2", about 210. He's a big receiver, and he's very skilled. Probably an NFL guy. He's just a sophomore, so he's a very talented receiver. But again, we have some talented people as well. We're just gonna have to figure out how to scheme to not let him get loose on us. But I think more of the problem is defending the run and then them busting a big play. You got a quarterback back there that can move around, or a couple of quarterbacks back there moving around, and then next thing you know, you got hitting one of those guys deep. That's what we're gonna have to fight against this week.
Yeah, and I mean they're gonna break in not as much as we saw against Vanderbilt, but there'll be some triple option elements thrown in there from time to time. So we got to make sure that we're sticking with our men outside and not getting our eyes in the backfield if you're a cornerback or a safety and get caught peeking. As far as Ayamano is concerned, He's got a powerful frame. Kind of reminds me of a little bit taller Jalen Lane in a lot of ways. Good burst, good speed, separates well on those like in-breaking routes, on slants, on ends, on digs. But I'd say probably the biggest thing that he does poorly is that he will drop the ball. He'll put the ball on the turf. He's not as effective with that catch percentage as your typical NFL wide receiver would be. So that's probably the biggest weakness that he might have.
All right, Sheldon, I know you said you did a little bit of research concerning their offensive line and their rushing. What are you finding out about that?
Well, it hasn't been great. Individually, Stanford does not have any offensive lineman that grades top 50 in the ACC. And when you look at their team stats overall, 91st in rushing success rate. They don't really stand up particularly in any one statistical category. Offense overall 79th in SP plus. So, not great there. They're 49th in pass blocking efficiency, which is, kind of on the lower end of power four. And they've struggled a lot in early downs. So 126 in EPA. So obviously when you get behind the sticks, that makes it even tougher. Facing lots of third and longs, which if you can't, if you struggle in pass protection, kind of makes everything worse. So, like Brian said, they do throw a pretty decent amount of deep balls. They just aren't particularly successful at completing a lot of them.
Brian, what did you see from Pass Pro? And just, obviously the numbers are saying a lot of things there, but what did you just get the feel of to say, if we do X on the defensive line, they're going to absolutely struggle?
I don't think we're going to have a problem getting pressure with 4 when you think about APR, when you think about Burgos. I think we're not going to have a problem getting into their backfield. I think the thing that concerns me, and we saw some of it last week with Cam Ward, is that, you got to be cognizant of those pass rush lanes and make sure you don't give athletic quarterbacks lanes to kind of steal third downs from you. So that's the thing that concerns me. But from a being able to line up and play with them in the trenches, I think we've got them in spades looking at our defensive line against that offensive line.
All righty. So there's a little bit of the offense and potentially what we could see Saturday afternoon, 3:30. Is it ACC Network Saturday? I haven't seen the network yet. Somebody find that out for me. Efferding. But while Brian or Tally or Shelton find that, we are going to flip over to the defensive side of the ball. Brian, defense led by Bobby April. Give me a little bit about this. I think it's got one of those unique defenses, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of looking at that 2-4-5 defense that we saw some with UNC up until the last couple of years there. But they will also shift over into a 3-3 stack, so you get a little bit of multiplicity there where they're going to have multiple fronts thrown at our offense. And primarily they're going to be in that 2-4-5 though, especially in those passing downs. Very much predicated on stopping the run first. They want to get you behind the sticks and then bring pressure from multiple levels, bring some of those pressure packages that confuse the offensive line, get you to make some mistakes. So that's really their goal, and their bread and butter is to play well on first down and then send some of their outside linebackers at you.
All righty. And talking about sending those outside linebackers, talking about pressure, they are really led in that department by a guy by the name of David Bailey. David Bailey was a top 50 player when he came out in 2022. He was one of the top 5 edges in the country. He's 6'3". He's about 240 pounds now, out of Mater D High School. That's a big one out in California that puts out studs. Last year, 5 sacks with 34 tackles. This year in just 4 games, 2 sacks already, 8 total tackles. Brian, I know we were going to talk about kind of the leader there, Anthony Franklin, but you messaged me and said, I like Franklin, but we got to talk about David Bailey. What did you see from him on that tape?
Yeah, I mean, he's the dude. He stands out on this defense. He plays that outside linebacker spot in their base set, but he will be a stack backer in the 3-3-5. He comes off the edge with really good balance, able to bend very well, get around the outside, make plays on the quarterback. Really good bull rush. Isn't lost when he's asked to have coverage responsibilities either. So he's a little versatile in that way. So he's really kind of a do-it-all guy from that position.
All righty. And so Shelton sent me this as well. RSD Man 97, ACC Network 330. I think we are their bell cow there because they know we're going to come in to watch every week. Pally, were you able to get that stuff for Tristan Sinclair?
Yeah, Tristan Sinclair, one of the linebackers. He's actually when you talk about high school, coming out of high school, he was a stud coming out of high school. Borderline 5-star player, big offers, Notre Dame, Colorado, Texas A&M, Nebraska, Southern Cal, Utah. So had a lot of good offers, and has been, very productive at Stanford. He's their leading tackler right now. He's got a sack so far this season and about 24 tackles. So he's going to be a handful, there in that linebacking core as well. Brian, what you got on him?
Yeah, I mean, the big thing about him, he's definitely their best run defense linebacker on the field. Really good at shedding blockers, meeting the play in the gap. I wouldn't call him as good sideline to sideline as maybe some of the other linebackers we've seen this year, but he makes up for it in just having a nose for the football and kind of being wherever he needs to be. So definitely a guy that we got to account for every play on that linebacking unit for the Cardinal.
All right. Sheldon sent me a quick message. Sheldon, you said you had a couple things on David Bailey, obviously.
Yeah, so he is graded out at 91 on PFF, not only the highest on the team, but also the highest in the ACC. So they like him the most. Now, he has been banged up the past couple of games, which is why he's only played 39 snaps total the last 2 games. But he does have 11 quarterback pressures, which is obviously, a gaudy total at this point in the season. Like I said, Sinclair at the linebacker spot, leading tackler. Bernadelle grades out at 70 on PFF. Really good in run defense, another one of their linebackers. And then they've got a couple, decent corners. Colin Wright, who's averaging 4.2 yards per target when he's thrown out this year. And has a really good passer rating when teams go at him. So, pretty decent corners overall defensively. Again, still not great. 90th in SP plus and 102nd in success rate allowed. In particular, they've actually struggled overall as a secondary. They rank 112th in dropback success rate. So that includes passing attempts and sacks as well. They just haven't really been good in that back four there.
Yep, and you mentioned Colin Wright. And Brian, I want you to tell me what you were seeing on tape with him because he's listed on the depth chart as a corner. And, so far this season, as far as a corner goes and playing last year, he's already got 2 picks this year. One of those was in the Clemson game. Couple tackles for loss. Last year, 5 pass deflections. Where are they lining him up? Because, they're saying corner, but are they doing a lot of different things? Is he like their gadget guy they can do anything with?
Yeah, he's basically a nickel safety is kind of how they're deploying him. He'll play kind of a box safety. He'll also, line up outside in the nickel. So they'll use him a couple different ways, but that's really how they're lining him up. And, looking at him play, he's really sound from a technical standpoint. I like the way he plays football. He does a really good job of playing with leverage out there on the outside. So he's definitely somebody that, we've got to account for. And like I said, from that role, he is very good in run support, but also isn't a liability in that pass coverage piece as well.
All righty. So there is sort of the know your enemy, some key players from the Stanford Cardinal as we go out there Saturday to take them on. But always we're going to talk about what we feel are the keys to the Hokies games. So Jonathan Talley, I'm going to kick to you first. Any specific keys, whether mental, statistical, just feel for this game for the Hokies?
Yeah, it's just punch. It's not mental. It's physical. You got to punch. Like, go drink a Red Bull and act like an idiot from the trailer park when Alabama loses. Punch something. Not physically punch somebody, but you got to go into the game and you got to have the same mindset as you had against Miami. Not just because it's Miami, not just because they got the little number by their name. You got to go into a game knowing that it's going to be a fight every game. If we win in every game like we went into that Miami game, I don't want to keep dwelling on it. I feel like things would have been much different. So you got to go into this game ready to punch, and I think we'll be fine if we do that.
Sheldon, what about you? What is your key in this game?
I mean, I think just, kind of be able to attack them vertically in the passing game. Like I said, this is a team that struggles a lot defending the pass. So, I'd like to see some creativity there, just, be able to push the ball downfield. I think it's a good matchup for VT. I know, much has been made about the end to last week. It seems like from, everything we've seen with the program, they are 100% moved on from the Miami game, refocused, and I think they're come out pretty strong. And if they play like they're capable of, they will win this game.
Brian, what about you, man?
I'm gonna say it here. Don't let one play beat you twice. I know. Looking at based on what Sheldon said, but looking at everything I've seen, it looks like they've done a job of kind of putting Miami behind them. I want to see it on the field because we can't do that thing where we let one game and one play beat us 2 times. So we need to go out there. We got to get back to 500, keep moving forward in ACC play, and see what happens and let it shake out. But we got to take care of Stanford first. That's what's in front of you. Don't worry about what's behind you. Don't worry about what's ahead of them. Go ahead and take care of Stanford.
Yep. And for me, it is going to be don't lose what you found Friday night, because what you found Friday night was the team not only all of us on this podcast expected, everybody it's over here in the chat expected. That's the team we expected. If that team that plays like that shows up Saturday, it's going to be 6:45, and I'm going to be enjoying dinner with a nice victory beer. If that team shows up Saturday, don't lose that, because there are not a lot of teams left on the schedule that can beat that team that played Friday. And there's probably, I would say, maybe I'm being boisterous here. Maybe I'm being super confident. To me, that's only probably 10 or 12 teams in the country that could beat that team that showed up Friday. And it would be a game like we played against Miami. It would be a war. All righty. Now we got to get into our predictions. And I'm going to let Shelton go first. Shelton, give me a score prediction of this game.
I'm going to go Hokies. I'm going to go 27-17. I think they're going to come out. They're going to cover. They're going to play well. I think the defense will be highly motivated. They're going to get to the young quarterback that's we presume to be filling in for Ashton Daniels, and I think they're going to make life miserable for him. I predict at least 1 sack for APR, if not more.
Right. If not more. Callie.
I'm fading the Hokies, baby. I'm fading them. Put my face up in the locker room. I'm going to say 34-27 Stanford.
Oh, damn.
Only reason I'm saying it is because I got to see it. I got to see it on the field. I got to see it on the field. We keep losing close games. I got to go by the past. You got to show me something in the future. Got to pick against you, Stanford.
Tally is not on board until they show him something. I feel like we heard this story last year, and then they started showing him something. Brian Siegler.
I'm not fading. I think because I don't think it's going to be a close game, being honest with you. I don't think it's going to be a blowout, but I think we're going to have a 14-point win there. I think it's going to be 34-20 Hokies. I think APR has 3 sacks, Sheldon. Let's do it.
That'd be 10 for the year.
10,
3.
Fucking 10.
Might be going after some records here. I'm going to throw this up. Chris Lester, our buddy, always out there. 35-10 Hokies. I'm 31-20 Hokies. I think they continue to bring that team. What?
I was going to say, speaking of Chris Lester, I thank you, Chris. Thank you, Chris, for texting me at 12 o'clock at night or 1 o'clock in the morning and letting me know what you watch on film, so I have to wake up and watch it too. It is your fault. It is your fault that I was up watching the game. So thank you, Chris. Now, Chris, that's my guy, man. We go over a lot of football together, especially, Hokie football. And Chris is damn near a coach from the couch. Like he's going over film and he's not watching the ball. Like some fans watch the game and watch the ball. Chris is watching everything. Hey, when you watch it, look at this false step he takes. I'm like, it's 2:00 in the morning, man. What are you looking at this for? Oh, fuck it. Let me get up and watch it too. So it's my guy, man.
I love the way he approaches it. In the comments he puts in here are always super insightful too. And I'll tell you another thing about Chris. I don't know if some of y'all know, but that dude is tall. When I saw him in Nashville, I was like,
I didn't realize he was that big and tall either until I was in Nashville. Like on the pictures, he ain't fat by no means, but in the pictures he looked kind of skinny. Like, no, I got a back like Dwight Howard. I was like, damn, he like 6. Like I'm like 6'2", and he looking down at me. I'm like, no, I don't like that. I don't like being around people looking down at me, dog. Gotta sit down, man. If we're gonna hang out, you gotta sit down. Stop standing up over me.
All right, I'm gonna give my prediction now. I should have waited till after I talked because now we know exactly what to do for Tally. If y'all want to wake Tally up in the middle of the night, text him about a football play from our game. He will wake up. He will go downstairs. He will turn on the TV.
It's got to be a false step.
Where's the false step?
Point out the false step.
Special teams miscues.
Special teams miscues. Give me 31-20 Hokies. I think I'm with Brian on this. This is going to be, in my opinion, I ain't going to say easy game, but cruise control game. Just do what you do. They ain't going to be able to stop it. Do what you on defense. You're going to make them pay a few times. Got a couple other Hokie predictions here. Got The Rock out here saying 38-13. They take out their frustrations. We got, look at this. RSD man say it's close. Oh, we got a lot of them coming in. Oh, look who is staying up late tonight. Jason staying up late.
Hey, we about to play a special one for you.
We are as well. And Jason Schwartz out here.
Hey.
Our guy.
Southwest VA, baby.
All righty. Well, believe it or not, we watch more than just the Hokie games on the weekends. At least I do. As mad as I was Saturday, I watched a lot of football. On Friday, I watched a lot of football. Actually, I was pissed off on Friday into Saturday. I literally had a 4-finger scotch after the game. I didn't go to bed till 1:30 on Friday night. And I had to be up early Saturday. It was not a fun day at all. But we do watch more than one game. We look at games every week here. We have our big screener segment where last week, the only 2 people at 500 or better were myself and the music man, Jason Long. We both went 3-3. Brian 2-4, Tally 2-4, Miranda 2-4, and Shelton 2-4. As far as the season records go, Brian and Tally slightly ahead at a 53-point win clip. I am the 50-50 man. Shelton, you're 40%, man. You gotta make some picks here, man.
Pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers.
I need some regression to the mean here.
There you go. Regression to the mean. And here comes the money picks right here. We go big screeners. We start off, as we always do, with Brian Siegler. Brian, where are we going this week?
Hey, we're going to UNLV, baby. Las Vegas.
Vegas, baby.
Syracuse taking on UNLV. UNLV the favorite by 6 here. I'm going to take Cuse. I've liked what they've done so far. I like their quarterback. I think they're going to make just enough plays. With the flux and everything that UNLV is dealing with, we'll see if they miss a beat here at some point, especially once the competition ramps up a little bit like it is this week. So give me Cuse.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think they beat Fresno State, usually a pretty good West Coast team. They absolutely pummeled them. But I think last week was the mentality of look at all this shit that's happened. It's us against the world. Let's go out there and play. I think they crashed back to earth. Give me Syracuse. Give me the points. I think Syracuse wins outright as well. Tally? Or Shelton? Shelton.
Yes, it would help if I was actually paying attention. Yeah. I'm taking Syracuse too. just for record, I'm making these picks mainly based off vibes because I've struggled so much the last 2 weeks. So just going with the vibes, give me the cues.
Hey, Sheldon, I think we're pretty much on the same pace here. So I had a rough week last week. I was like, you know what? How am I feeling? What am I feeling this week? Just ride with the vibes. I think that's going to live to do me better this week. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm gonna ride the vibes too. I'm gonna say Cuse as well. Kind of like Brian said, UNLV has a lot of stuff going on. So at some point, I feel like they're gonna stumble. I think it's gonna be this week.
All righty. And the two back half, our wonderful writer Miranda and our music man Jason are saying, roll with the running Rebels, roll with Vegas.
They liked what they saw last week after all that craziness. So, hey,
hey, listen, y'all put y'all's picks in here. I'll definitely throw your name up. Chris saying he's going to take the points too. All right. Oh, here we go. This is why he's really picking Syracuse right there.
Hey, you know what? Shout out to SWVA, man. I ordered some stuff from them. I'm getting some stuff from them, man. If y'all have not went to their website to take a look at their products, man, they got some awesome shirts and hats. I'm waiting on an orange hat. It's the only reason I haven't got a hat. But the white hats that they're putting out, gas. I just sweat too much for a white hat, so I try to stay away from them because I can only wear like one time. But no, they are putting some really good stuff out, and it's big man friendly. Like, shoot, they got 3X, 4X shirts. Y'all need to go hop on their website right now and take a look at their products because I just got me some coming my way.
All righty, there we go. So definitely look at SWVA. I am the next man up, and let's go to Berkeley, where the U travels across country. Y'all, this is a 10:30 East Coast kick. 10:30. This is ACC after dark, which means I'm gonna probably stay up till 2:00 in the morning.
There you go.
Miami versus Cal. Let's pull it up here. Cal getting 10 points. Miami laying 10 points. Brian, what are you doing before I get to make my pick on this one?
Hey, you know what? We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna ride with Ott out there in Berkeley, and we're gonna take Cal.
Yep. I am with you on this. Cal is getting game day for the first time. I think now there are only like 2 schools that have never gotten game day. If I'm not right.
I know we're one of them.
I know one of them. And I feel like there's one more. But I think Cal's just too good of a team. Like, if y'all know Justin Wilcox is a good defensive-minded head coach. We sort of laid a little bit of a game plan of how to kind of get a little funk in Miami. I think, again, a 10:30 start time. That is, man, it couldn't happen to a better team. I'll say that. But the ACC can't do that bullshit. Like, the latest start should be 8:30 when teams go out west. We got lucky. Ours is at 3:30 in the afternoon. Body clock's going to be fine. But for them, I think they win, but I think 10 is just too much. Give me Cal. Sheldon Moss?
It's a battle of woke versus Coke.
Oh, yes.
College game day in town. The memes will be crazy. I cannot wait for this matchup. I will be conspicuously following Twitter the entire game. But I'm taking Cal. I think they'll be kind of pumped up with game day in town and a tough fight for Miami. So give me the Bears.
Tally?
Yeah, man, I'm gonna go Miami on this game, man. Ward spent a little bit of time out there on the West Coast. He was carving people up on a not as good team, so it's kind of gonna be where he was able to get on the big stage at the beginning. So I feel like it's gonna be kind of a let me show out kind of game for him. So I'm gonna take Miami in this one.
All righty, Miranda rolls with us on Cal. And Jason is riding with Tally. Tally, I'm sending something to you because if you ain't seen some of those things created by some of these Cal accounts with the woke versus Coke.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Freaking hilarious.
Yeah,
hilarious
stuff. Hey, man, the Cal Twitter is on point.
Awesome.
Yeah, you got to give them their love because, it's probably like 10 or 12 accounts that like really do some really good stuff out there. So
I'm gonna say something real quick here. Josh Young talked about not stopping tooting. They aren't stopping. Bashal Tootin is a top 10 running back right now in the country. So, and I don't know, maybe he's really good, but Tootin's legit right now. All righty.
Odd good too.
Huh?
Yeah.
Odd is good too.
Oh yeah, he's good.
Yeah,
I don't know if he's Tootin good, but he's good.
He's good. Tootin good's tough. Sheldon, where are you trying to make some money?
We're going to Louisville, Kentucky. I thought this would be a really good matchup of two pretty solid teams. You got SMU coming in hot, big win last week. I think, though, they're going to be on a little bit of a hangover, and I think Louisville's going to be motivated coming off a loss to Notre Dame. So I've got Louisville taking this one.
All righty.
Yep.
Did you lay the points?
I'm riding right there with Shelton on this one. I think Louisville's going to have a bounce back game in this one. I think SMU is going to come back to earth a little bit. I think this could be about a 10-point Cardinal win here.
And I'm with y'all on that as well. Give me Louisville. The over-under is interesting in this one. It's at 56, where you like first quarter vibes is going to tell if it's going to hit the 56 and over, because these two teams do have heavy offensive-minded head coaches. So if you are at 17 to 21 points, take the second quarter, try to catch the over-under, which at that point in time, it'll probably be like 65. Take it. If it's over 70, don't take it. If it's under 70, 65, take it. Sorry, gambling. Allie?
Yeah, no, I'm taking Louisville in this one as well. But besides this game, what is going on with Florida State? What's going on with Florida State, man?
3 letters.
What, the ACC?
No.
They suck balls? I mean, what is
TJU? That is their problem.
Man.
Literally, that is. If they would just put in Brock Glenn, I think they would at worst be like 3-2 right now.
They look pitiful.
I mean, it's looking like Jordan Travis covered up a whole lot of holes in that offense, especially with that offensive line. So, I mean, it's really, I think that and what they lost on defense has been a really bad combo for them.
Yeah. You know what's funny? Florida State analytically has the best special teams in the country. That's how bad their offense is. That their special teams is so good, defense is solid, and they're 1-4. Like,
that's crazy.
Miranda goes Louisville. Jason goes. We are all laying 7 points riding with Louisville.
Hey, that's the first one. Everybody's riding with one team across the board there. So
yeah, that's the first one tonight. That is the first one tonight. Ooh, you don't want to know? Dwight Vick says that right there.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, they kind of did.
Portal can be very volatile.
Yeah.
And just real quick before we quick the tallies pick, just so y'all know, Jason has been wanting to pick FSU all year so he can play that song.
Yeah. But you ain't getting to play it this year, buddy.
It might be a while. It might be a while.
It might be a long while. Tally, where are you taking us for Saturday with some gambling?
Man, I think we're going and checking out A&M and Mizzou. I think it's going to be a pretty competitive game. I would say, though, I mean, I've watched both teams play, and they both got two good teams, but I think Mizzou is going to take this game outright.
Yeah, I'm riding with Mizzou as well there, Tally. A&M has been kind of a conundrum. I think Mizzou has got a little bit of a wake-up call with a couple games here. I think they're going to come out focused, and I think A&M just not going to have enough at the end.
All right. I am fading y'all two right there because I do believe that Texas A&M is going to win this game. I've seen Mizzou play a couple times now. I'm not saying they're not a good team, but go to the Boston College game. That was a game. Go to the Vanderbilt. They should have lost to Vanderbilt. There is not even a question they should have lost to Vanderbilt. And I think going down to Kyle Field, I think it's going to be loud. I think A&M's kind of finding their groove. Elko, we know, is a good coach. I'll lay 2 points. I'll take the home team. I think this could be like a fun game this weekend to watch. I don't know what time it is on. I'll look it up. Hopefully not 3:30 because I don't get to truly enjoy it. But I think it could be a super entertaining game on Saturday. Sheldon?
I took Missouri, although in hindsight, I feel like they're kind of due for a loss, so maybe I shouldn't have done that. But you know what? We'll stick with it.
Vibes.
Vibes. Cali, Missouri. Miranda, Missouri. The Music Man is riding with me tonight. All right. Our wonderful contributing writer, Miranda, is taking us down to Columbia, where Ole Miss comes in after a loss, which was a physical football loss to Kentucky last week. Kentucky can slow down some offenses, y'all. They made Georgia look
Kentucky's
pitiful.
they're a solid team, man.
Yeah.
But they gave up 30 to South Carolina. Make that make sense.
Yeah.
Ole Miss going there, laying 9.5. Brian, what are you taking on this one?
I'm riding with Ole Miss on this one. I'm still not a believer in what's going on down there in Columbia. I don't think that this South Carolina team is going to be able to match what's going to be a pissed off Ole Miss team after the way that game went down.
And that's exactly why I am on board with you to lay 9.5. It's the Lane Kiffin gets slowed down the next game. He going to put at least 45 up. And I do not think South Carolina has that offense to stay within 10 points. Sheldon?
Well, you guys know me at this point. One of my biggest philosophies, I like taking teams that are coming in pissed off. And you know Ole Miss is pissed off after what happened last week. So I'm taking the Rebels big time.
Yeah, I mean, y'all have already said it. You're gonna have a pissed off old piss, so that's who I'm taking. Yeah, forget them. I don't like them either.
There we go.
Fuck them.
Oh my God!
And Miranda is picking Ole Miss as well, and Jason
Fading the pod.
riding with
Fading
the Cox.
Right. Oh, John. Oh, my goodness. All righty. Well, we finally get here as we do at the end of Big Screeners every week. And our wonderful music man, Jason Long, who has joined us so lovingly in the chat tonight, is going up to Minnesota for the Trojans and the Gophers. Wait till you hear this.
Welcome back to Guitar Licks and Gambling Picks. I'm Jason Long. Don't know if you noticed, I'm on a little bit of a losing streak. Lost 2 in a row. Betting on favorites. So this week I'm taking a dog. At USC, they traveling back to the Midwest. 2 weeks ago, I lost money when they went to Michigan. And I don't plan on making the same mistake twice. This time they're going to Minnesota. Now the Golden Gophers, they've been a little bit up and down this season, but they're getting 10.5 points at home. That feels like a little bit too much for me. So I'm going Minnesota against USC. Nothing causing sorrow. Nothing causing pain. Only one time see you laughing. I only wanna see you laughing. In the purple rain, purple rain, purple rain. In purple rain, purple rain. I'm purple rain, purple rain. I only wanna see you standing in the purple rain. So let's get back on the winning track. Let's go Minnesota. Let's go Hokies. See you next week.
There we go.
Buddy, I feel like it's 2003 again, and we are in his apartment drinking all sorts of concoctions.
Hey, are we going to get a cease and desist on this one?
I don't know. We might. That'd be cool. So the story goes is Jason did a cover. I think it's Little Red Corvette, right?
Little Red Corvette.
Another wonderful Prince song. Now, by the way, if you're wondering why he did Prince, for y'all who are uneducated, Prince is from Minneapolis, Minnesota, the home of the Golden Gophers. There we go. But anyway, he did this on a little localized CD. I don't know how many he sold. I had one. Brian had one. We all were his boys. We gave him the money. He got a cease and desist letter from Prince's attorneys basically saying, don't do that shit anymore. It is framed. I don't know where it is. I'm surprised he didn't bring it up. But that goes to the story. Never forget that. Never forget that.
And in this one, I mean, Minnesota, 10.5. I got to take them points, man. Let me get Minnesota here. I think it's going to be a, 7-8 point win for the Trojans, but I think Minnesota's going to keep it interesting there at the end.
I am with you on this. Give me Minnesota. Minnesota got screwed. If y'all didn't see the end of that Michigan game, they recovered that punt. They recovered that onside kick. They were not offsides. And they had the momentum going. And 10.5 points. I know USC can be good, but 10.5 too much to lay them coming back east. And while y'all go ahead about it, I wonder what the weather's up there going to be on Saturday. So who you got next? Sheldon,
what you got?
Minnesota, continuing with my pissed off philosophy, they did get screwed against Michigan. They've lost 2 straight. I think they're going to bounce back, at least to the extent that they will cover.
Tally, what do you say, man?
All right, give me USC, man. I'm going to take USC in this one just because I knew y'all was picking Minnesota, and I wanted to be difficult.
Contrarian.
It's kind of
Tally's said, I got to score some points somewhere.
Yeah, it's kind of like a 4th and 3, man. I mean, I'm the little brother. I ain't gonna line up and run. I'm gonna do a fake field goal. So, USC.
Miranda's riding with Minnesota, and obviously our music man Jason Long is also riding with the Gophers.
Now, before I go into this, I am wondering how USC is going to handle the weather. They are playing this game at night, and it's going to be like 48, 50 degrees with a little 15-mile-an-hour breeze. Southern California boys in the Midwest on an October night.
It could be interesting.
I mean, that's like they don't see 50 in December out there. So there you go. There's all
the
of
rundown. Who did good? Who did bad? Who you riding with on this weekend? I like my picks. Missouri's the only one that I'm really I could have went either way on. Everything else I feel pretty good about.
The only one I question is I was tempted to go Miami with the pissed off mindset of they barely escaped. Let's go prove a point. That's the only one I'm kind of questioning. The other ones I feel good about. All right, gentlemen, anything else popping up for the last hour? And hey, look at that, an hour and 30 minutes. We ain't done that in a few weeks.
Hey, you know what? We got it tight now. We got it tight.
We all of our outbursts are gone.
Hey, we're in full mid-season mode now. Like we're out of the funk. We actually had a game where we didn't have to talk about what went bad for 30 minutes.
No.
So
nope,
there we go.
We didn't.
Don't jinx it.
Touche.
Don't jinx it.
All righty. Well, that is going to wrap up this episode of the Boundary Corner podcast, brought to you by Counts Family Pharmacy in Blacksburg. I'm Curtis Wilson.
I'm Brian Siegler.
Jonathan Talley.
And I'm Sheldon Moss.
We are part of the College Huddle Network. Visit our website, boundarycornerbt.com, to listen to all of our episodes. Check out Miranda's articles. All sorts of fun stuff on there. Always follow us on Twitter, where we are very grateful that last week we eclipsed 3,000. I never thought in my life when we started this 5 years ago with me and Brian that we'd get to 3,000 Twitter followers. 3,000 Twitter followers. Obviously, Shelton, Tally, Miranda, everybody involved. This is all of our accomplishments because we would not be here without either one of you guys or without those who have helped us along the way. Follow us there, Instagram, Facebook. Keep subscribing on YouTube. Saw a lot of people in the YouTube channel tonight, which I love to see. We are also there, all your podcast sources, Spotify, Amazon, and Apple Podcasts. the man who just played Purple Rain for us. Check him out on his website, jasonlawmusic.com, where you can see where he is going to be live this weekend. Also, his music with Apple, Spotify, his YouTube account, his Facebook pages. As always, we thank y'all out there for listening. And as always, let's go.
Hokies.